There you go. See, Lars is already talking about the Discord.
Why is this all wiggling?
See,
what'd you do
Jess
to
does
it?
that.
It didn't used to wiggle that bad. I think Shannon's desk is very wobbly.
I know. It just needs to be tightened up.
Places. Yeah, it does.
I can do that today. There's time today. There wasn't time yesterday.
No.
There really wasn't. Did you want me to go get the screwdriver and fix that now during the live stream?
No.
At the start of the live stream?
No.
Oh, come on.
No,
just a little
make
bit.
All the people dizzy with the camera.
See, first year Dallas jersey. So this is before they had the Dallas word mark over it, and they just had the Texas patch.
Hello, everybody.
Not much fizz to
that. Thoughts on Horvat and his disrespectful comment about Vancouver and the fans.
When you've gone to a new city and you've signed a long-term contract, it makes sense to say that you like the fans of the new city more. Yeah. I don't really pay much attention to it.
That was my exact thought. What's he gonna say?
Is he supposed to say, yeah, it kind of sucks here, but at least I'm getting paid money? So, I mean, yeah, obviously he's gonna say that. I didn't take it to mean much of anything, but it gets blown up. So,
what? I made myself a coconut oolong. Ooh, fancy.
I'm just drinking Coke Zero.
Excited.
I'm just drinking Coke Zero. That goal regulation says or what? Jeez.
Thoughts on the Blues missing the playoffs?
They'll be back in next year, is my guess. At least they'll be competitive. They've got a good team there. It was a nightmare season most of the way through.
Horvat's comment was fine. Relax, people. That was kind of my thought on it. It's interesting, right? Seeing Yvonne wear a Jet jersey other than the Jets. I almost did too, and I'm like, no, I can't always wear Jets jerseys. I just have way more Jets jerseys.
I thought about wearing Boston. I thought
any
they're playing
other
today,
team.
So.
I have way more Jets jerseys. I almost did.
You think you're better than me?
But then I decided to wear this one because it's fun, and I've never worn this jersey before. I had to cut the tags off.
So just full transparency, Happy Gilmore's on TV, so I've got the TV muted. It doesn't matter. I've memorized the entire movie, so I get extra meatballs. Great. I'm leaving. Bye. My favorite switch. She goes bye. Like you're not getting it.
Okay.
Are you getting back? Never.
I live down in Everett, thinking about coming up to Abbotsford for one of your meetups. Do you have a time and place set yet? We do. And it's always on the Facebook group. If you're ever wondering when a meetup is or where a meetup is, it's always on Facebook. And I think we've only ever had one in Abbotsford. They're very rarely in Abbotsford. We usually do them in Vancouver Metro just because that's where most people are. And a lot of the guys don't drive. So makes it easier if they can ride the SkyTrain.
Oh, I'm just kidding, baby. They're excellent finger paintings. Please don't go. Anyways.
But yeah, on the Facebook, we always make an event for any meetups.
Yes.
We have one next weekend, right?
This coming Saturday. We're having one at Hickey Park, which is where we have most of them.
That's in
public space in Coquitlam.
Not far from
and
SkyTrain.
It's easy enough for people to get to. So yeah, it works well. It works pretty well.
As a Habs fan, Weidman should just shut his mouth. Come on. I'm guessing we are rebuilding, not we're.
You know, it's weird because I didn't think anything of it last night during the game. Like Toronto puts in the emergency backup goaltender for the last minute and 10 seconds because that's his moment. And so after the game, Weidman went on about how disrespectful it was. And, they're going to get theirs in a few weeks. When I heard that, I thought, what a few weeks means they're probably going to get out of the first round. So that's actually kind of optimistic, isn't it?
My tea smells really good. It's warm too. What's up, Shannon and Yvonne?
Oh, it's Easter, so happy Easter.
I have turkey in the oven. Aren't you guys excited?
There's a turkey in the oven?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I remember how you found me 2 turkeys?
Yeah, I did.
I was all excited. It was hard to find turkeys this year. and Shannon found me 2.
I did.
So I had one in the freezer and I got one out.
Well, because I saw that I could order one, and I thought, well, I might as well order 2, because we know that there's not very many elsewhere, so you can always have another turkey.
Yes, I love turkey. I made a coconut oolong today, and it's warming up my hands because my hands are freezing cold. Huh, Shannon? Shannon wouldn't let me warm them up on him. I tried.
Nope.
He's not helpful.
Yep, not happening.
What do you think the Caps should do this off season?
They need to get younger. Financially, it's really going to depend. So Backstrom came back from that hip injury and surgery, but usually players don't play that long after that surgery and after that's done. So yeah, we'll see what kind of situation they're in next year. But I think they need a rebuild, but I don't think they're going to do that with Ovechkin there. I think they're going to try to turn it around quickly.
And the tea is fantastic. It's actually really good, and it smells lovely. What do you think it's going to happen if the Leafs lose in the first round again?
I think there'll be major changes this time. Now, whether that means they change the GM, but if they change the GM, then the whole promise of we're keeping this all together goes away too. I think the Toronto would look at, doing something pretty major with their roster in order to fix it, because they need to win something. You want to entice Marner and Matthews to stay around beyond these contracts, and you need to have some kind of playoff success for that.
Hello from Texas. Why do you think the Central Division seems to dominate in terms of the number of teams that make the playoffs every year?
Well, the Pacific had been weaker. Now, this year, the Pacific is definitely stronger than it has been. We have 4 teams from the Pacific that have made it this year. And so, yeah, it's just a matter of balancing it out. The Pacific has been, it's been kind of rough for a while. So I think that definitely helps Central Division teams make the playoffs.
Do you think Bolduc has a bright future?
I do. I don't know how much offensive upside is there, but yeah, useful player, and he's been good for the Islanders so far. If that's the Bolduc you're talking about, I think he's been solid. He had a goal last night, but yeah, it's one of those situations where even if the offense doesn't end up being fantastic, he's still going to be an NHLer.
Does THG have a Grail jersey he's still looking for?
The only jersey I don't have is one that's insanely expensive, and that's the Tampa Bay Storm jersey. But now I have the reverse retro Storm jersey, so I'm kind of good with it. I really don't look for it anymore.
It just maybe the Maple Leafs may break their first round exit curse.
Tampa Bay is having such a hard time winning right now. Yeah, I could absolutely see Toronto knocking them out in the first round.
Do you think the NHL will continue the 16 game days in the future?
Yeah, and I mean, it's odd. Like yesterday was busy. I wouldn't say it was insanely busy compared to what Thursday's going to be for me, but I don't know. It's a gimmick. Like it's a gimmick, so I think they will do it again.
Hot take. Carolina lost any shot they had at the Cup back at the deadline. Why? The ex-teammate of King Henrik on their team are tainting them like they tainted late 2010s. This is so hard to read on orange. Why are they doing white font on orange? Tampa Bay.
That's a YouTube thing.
Oh, I know. No, I'm not saying it's I know it's YouTube, but that's awful having white font on orange. Tampa Bay all needed to be traded. None were a fatal mistake.
What's happened with Carolina is that they had, acquired Max Pacioretty knowing they needed goals. Pacioretty, only playing a handful of games before getting hurt again, re-aggravating the Achilles, and losing Svechnikov. That's a lot of goals out of the lineup. Carolina they have the defense, they have the goaltending. They don't have the offense. So I don't know that they can get out of the first round this year. And I would imagine there'll be big changes for them in the offseason too.
Do Ullmark and Swayman worry you in the playoffs?
No, they don't really worry me. They don't have much of a playoff resume to speak of. Ullmark, it's barely anything, and Swayman, it was 6 games from last year. They've been excellent during the regular season, just absolutely fantastic. And they should, at the very least, be able to get out of the first round. If it's Tampa Bay in the second round, we'll see how Tampa Bay is doing. If it's Toronto, I think they match up well with Toronto. I think Boston's in good shape with them in net.
Alex Lyon deserves more love from you. He is playing unreal during the most crucial part of the season. You need to love him more, Shane.
I said this morning.
You need to love him more.
No, I said last night when I was doing the recap of that game that Lyon would be the unsung hero for the Florida Panthers right now.
You need to love him more, though.
And that because I was gonna, he's kind of the unsung hero at this point.
You need to love him more, though.
I don't.
See, there you go. Thoughts on Laviolette's future with the Caps?
He should be safe. One playoff miss shouldn't negatively impact him, especially since I would argue it's not really his fault that they've missed the playoffs. Predicting who's going to get fired in the NHL when it comes to coaches, it can be a bit tricky because they do get fired pretty regularly, but he's got a lot of experience. And again, I don't think one playoff miss should put him out of work.
Will the Wings make the playoffs next year?
They should. The East is going to be a real dogfight next year because I think Ottawa should get into the playoffs. Detroit should, and so should Buffalo. All three of those teams, good young teams on the upswing in the standings. Somebody's going to have to drop out in the East.
Bunny cam for Easter. I will take some bunny pictures later.
Yes.
I have not had much time. I took the kids to Easter church and I had like a half hour to change from Easter church clothes to hockey clothes. I've got food cooking. It'll happen. Right. I will do some bunny pictures.
We have to get like the little plastic eggs and just post them with the.
We don't have plastic eggs.
Didn't you used to have the plastic ones that you put stuff in?
No, I don't buy plastic eggs.
I thought you had them and you just reused them every year.
No, I use bags, remember?
Oh, okay.
I don't buy plastic eggs because I think they're wasteful.
But
and plastic.
Yeah, we could do. Just
I have Easter baskets and I have
something to pose them with. We've
got Kinder eggs.
We can't pose Cinnabon with chocolate eggs because she'll just take them. The other day I was like, "Look, you're not going to want what I'm eating," and I showed her I had a chocolate egg, and she pulled it out of my hand and ran.
Mine.
Like, okay, thanks. Like, no, that's not no.
If Canes get bounced in the first round, is there a coaching change?
No, I don't think it'll come back on Rod Brindamore, but there might be a change in how the team approaches things. It was a criticism I had of the team last year when they got eliminated from the playoffs. They need to give guys like Aho a little bit more offensive leeway than they do.
Oh, Lars posted a link to the
bunny Instagram.
The Instagram. It's called THG Cats, but it has the rabbits on there too.
Yep.
So the Isles match up better with the Bruins than the Canes. I think Boston still wins, but the Isles will not make it easy for them.
No, the Isles would be a tough out because Sorokin. That'd be some low scoring games. Boston's won a lot of low scoring games lately, which bodes well for the playoffs. But yeah, the Islanders. That'd be one low scoring, but fast series. Wouldn't be very many whistles or penalties.
Who's your favorite for captain on Arizona?
Kind of has to be Keller, I would think. I'd be very surprised if it's not Clayton Keller. He's kind of the identity of the team now. So I think it kind of has to be him.
Do you think that Tampa struggles in the latter half of this season indicate a looming rebuild?
Not a rebuild, but they're just having a down year. Their depth definitely is taking a hit because of the salary cap situation. If we didn't have a salary cap, they'd still have everybody and they'd still be one of the top teams, but this is kind of how the salary cap works. There may be a mild course correction, but I don't think they'll go into a rebuild. There's too many good young players on that team and good players are still in their prime.
Did you already watch the Mario movie?
No, we watched Dungeons and Dragons the other day.
And then Shannon's watched a ton of hockey.
Mm-hmm.
All the hockey.
Yeah, 16 games.
So much hockey.
There was not Anaheim and Arizona. I was surprised you didn't watch the Anaheim Arizona game with me yesterday. It was scintillating.
No.
It was scintillating.
That's the one. He showed me the board the night before, and I was like, oh.
Scintillating.
And the time that it's on too. Anyways. Before Fashing?
Yep, Fashing.
Who was the older career AHLer turned themselves into an NHLer regular?
I mean, there have been a few. See, I want to say Darren Hadar, but Hadar kept coming in and out, but he was basically AHL most of his career. There's always guys in the AHL who get moved to a new team, and fans will get excited looking at their AHL stats. Fashing's an interesting one. Nason's one too that has kind of done the same thing this year, where he was kind of a fringe, maybe not, and he had a good AHL season last year, and he's come through and become a pretty good NHLer. There are some really good guys in the AHL. It's a matter of them getting a chance to succeed. I could probably do a video on that. That would probably be a fun video to do.
I see somebody asked us how the D&D movie was. We did do a review. Lars linked the review. It was on the other channel, not on the hockey channel. Yep. But it was good, and all three of the kids liked it too. So, what do you think of Vegas' chance in the playoffs this year?
It's going to come down to goaltending for Vegas. Vegas has a bit of a log jam as we get set for the playoffs. Apparently, Thompson and Hill are both going to be ready. So they've got 4 NHL level goaltenders. As I said, I think it was last night. I think they'll go with Thompson as the starter, Quick as the backup, and probably a short leash for Thompson. And I kind of like their chances of coming out of the Pacific.
I apparently missed a super chat, so I'm looking. So you just keep on yammering.
No, I'm done. I'm good. Alligator in the 9th green bit my hand off.
Mom more tolerant of hockey. Thank you. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Oh, here. Oh, there we go. Okay. That's why it didn't make any sense. Hi, Shannon and Yvonne. My mom thinks y'all are the cutest, and THG has helped her become more tolerant. Thoughts how the Islanders can improve next season? I think a large decline.
Decline talked me off a cliff of despair.
Okay.
No, the Islanders should be good. One thing with the Islanders, there's a lot of consistency. The other thing, too, is that Horvat having a full season there, I think his scoring, he's not going to score 40 a year with the Islanders, but he should be a 25, 30 goal scorer, and he's really good on faceoffs. A lot of good young players and guys in their prime with the Islanders, too. I think they'll be fine.
Oh, I see Lisa made a comment. I saw it, too. It's telling us when people are doing their first super chats and doing little celebrate this. That's different.
Okay.
Yeah. We see it too. Hi, THG and Yvonne. Thanks for the great content from England. Looking to get a Columbus jersey for my birthday. The official shop is too pricey. Any suggestions for purchases from outside North America?
eBay. I'm pretty sure that Full Moon Jerseys still ships overseas. Full Moon Jerseys has various Columbus jerseys. Ben H Sports that I order from, I know he has shipped to Europe. I don't know that he still does. But there's an email address in the description to this live stream, as well as any video that I do, that gives you a link to his, or gives you his email address, and you can email him directly and ask him. But yeah, those are the two that I would suggest. I know I've used eBay through Full Moon Jerseys to ship to Australia. I know I did that before, so I'm pretty sure that you can still use them to shipping to Europe. And honestly, they're still, I mean, if you get a jersey that has like Upshaw on the back, or you get a jersey that has Hartnell's what I'm thinking of. I always get those two mixed up. But if you get a Hartnell jersey, like nobody's going to care. It says Hartnell on the back. You're still going to have a Columbus jersey.
You say teams don't lose on purpose, but there's a possibility if the Islanders beat the Habs that Florida misses. Does Hughes force St. Louis to play a worse game? Oh, okay. Yeah. There you
go. No, I teams don't really tank, and coaches really resent being told to tank. Looking back to Pittsburgh in the year that they drafted Mario Lemieux, the coach got told off when the team was playing well. I really don't think that happens anymore. And I don't think a team would risk that happening because it goes against the competitive nature of the game, right? Right? Doesn't it? It just goes against the spirit of it, doesn't it? She just won't answer me. She just wants to sit and stare at me. Look at that look.
If the Avs get fully healthy by the time the playoffs start, are they still your pick to win it all?
They're probably going to be my pick to come out of the West. We don't know what the actual final picture is going to look like for the playoffs just yet. We'll know in about a week's time. But yeah, Colorado has a really good chance. They're rounding into form at the right time of year, and that's without Landeskog back.
Who are you more impressed with this year, Seattle or New Jersey?
New Jersey. I would say New Jersey because it's been a dramatic turnaround for both. But yeah, New Jersey, it's been absolutely insane how good they've been through most of the season, and I don't think anybody picked that.
Thoughts on
Hirose.
Hirose? Okay. And McWard so far, do you see them fighting for a spot next season?
Hirose probably gets the spot on the team. McWard, we'll see. With college players, they get signed, they play games at the end of the season. It doesn't necessarily mean they make the team next year, but I think Hirose's earned himself a spot for next year. Hopefully, Wolanin gets the spot as well. I kind of like the Canucks' depth on the blue line now, as scary as that is, because their depth on the blue line has been a major issue for a long time.
Really hope Waddell shakes the Canes up this offseason. I would move a couple players like Teravainen and Pesci out and add some players like Konechny and Killorn.
Killorn's a free agent this summer. Konechny not on the block. I can't see Philly moving on from Konechny. It's going to be a tricky offseason for Carolina if they fail early in the playoffs, because they definitely need more scoring, and it's going to be pricey.
Do you notice how this time it did black font on the yellow? That's nice. At least it did do white again. Your thoughts on the top second-year players this season in the NHL? Anyone who had a so-so rookie season that stands out?
Oh, I'd have to remember every rookie from last year.
Your cat needs a jersey. We like arms.
Second-year players who are standing out. I could do a video on that. I could definitely do a video on that where I look at last year's rookies and because otherwise I'm just going to be off the cuff with it, and I know I'm going to overlook somebody. But I can't remember a time in the NHL where there's been this many really good young players. So she's just glaring.
Hi, Bear. How are you?
Does this take you back? Does this take you back to when
She's
we first started
way
dating?
closer right now. She does this at night too. She'll sit and just like, he's mine. Back away.
That could be it.
Glaring at the Cannon jersey. She glares at me because I am intruding on what they have. She's pretty sure that she's wife number one.
I know.
I'm intruding. I'm taking away her time.
You're still talking. She's not happy about that.
She likes me if Shannon's not there.
I know.
If Shannon's not in the room, she quite likes me. But once Shannon's there, I am just in the way. I need to go somewhere else. That's how it is always been. She likes me because I feed her and I use a heating blanket or a heating pad because I'm always freezing cold. She likes me then.
I know. But you're a good
other
kitty.
Than that,
yes.
No.
Yes, you're a good cat. Yes, you're a good girl. Nice kitty.
She's an odd cat. Hot take number 2. Anaheim has core in place, no depth. Arizona still dismantling. Turney is a achiever / capable of elevating players. Eakin is tank commander. Trade idea, Eakin plus picks to Arizona. Turney to Anaheim.
I think Arizona's got a pretty good core there too. I like the line of Hayden, Keller, and Schmaltz. I also think Mosier's excellent on the blue line. I did do the video in Arizona a couple weeks ago on what they're doing and how they're putting it together. I think Arizona is going to be better next year. I think with Cooley likely to join the team and some of the other prospects they have coming up, I think Arizona's going to be competitive. Anaheim, I mean, they were supposed to be better this year than last year. It just didn't happen. I think Aikens is probably out of a job at the end of the year. But Turney, he's not going anywhere. I think he's the guy for them until they're competitive.
We just adopted 2 rescue kitties on Friday. They are shy and hiding from us today. Some kitties takes a few days.
Yeah.
I have had cats that when I got them,
Yeah.
they hid for a few days. I had one kitty that she hid inside of my recliner for almost a week. But then she ended up being a super duper sweet cat once she got accustomed to us and everything. So could end up being very sweet cats. Some kitties just take longer. What's your opinion on Blasty being the new Wranglers mascot?
I mean, it makes sense. It fits with the Calgary Flames. I think Blasty would be the Flames magnet or the Flames mascot if they didn't already have Harvey the Hound. Of course, when Harvey came along, your mascot didn't have to be your logo, but that's changed over the years. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Bear is definitely a baby. I didn't say to put me down, Dad. She's a funny cat.
You're not a baby, are you?
Oh my gosh.
You're not a baby.
You guys have no idea. No idea.
You're not a baby. No. No.
What team would cause the most outrage if they won the lottery? My pick is Chicago.
Oh yeah, it's Chicago. We'll be doing the live stream when the draft lottery goes down. If it's Chicago, yeah, I expect a meltdown. If it's Arizona, there'll be a meltdown as well. I don't think there'd be one for Anaheim. If there's one for Vancouver, this guy will melt down because if Vancouver were to win the draft lottery, I mean, you'd have to do the rest of the live stream yourself because I'd be running around the house screaming.
Woo!
I would be so happy. So it's
the
not going to
neighbors
happen.
would know.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Never going to happen. They're never going to win the draft lottery.
Rumors on Montreal replacing the medical staff due to reoccurring injuries and players coming back too soon. It can't be just bad luck for the amount of players getting hurt.
At some point in time, you have to look at your staff and you have to figure out where the problem is. It's sort of like very often it's the same teams that seem to be dealing with injuries all the time. And you have to start asking questions about conditioning. I mean, it doesn't mean it's on them, but you have to at least ask the questions.
We adopted a little 5-week-old kitten a few months ago, and he's been all over us. Maybe a bit too clingy, actually.
If he was 5 weeks, that's 1 week before they're supposed to be. Now, I don't know how old Bear and Shadow were when I got them, but
super duper clingy.
I don't think Bear and Shadow were
Bear
old
would
enough.
like to be held all the time. She wants to be as close to your face as possible. Not just close, but close to your face. She needs to be in your face, laying on your face. She likes it when she's laying so close, her whiskers are up your nose, or she's breathing directly in your eyeball. That's her favorite. Isn't it, Bear? Yes.
She's talking about you.
She likes to sleep right here and breathe in your eyeballs.
She gets right between us. And she pushes me while she's glaring at her.
She does.
So she'll push me.
Puts her bum in Shannon's face and her whiskers up my nose.
Yeah. So
that's
like, okay,
how we
this
sleep.
is how we can get you guys apart.
It's romantic. It's nice. It's nice. And if we're like sleeping like this, she'll get like on her chest and do this.
She'll just look right down.
Or just
she'll even pull out the blanket a little bit. Like, is there room in there for me yet?
I'm just gonna come right in here. Don't mind me. Just a weird cat. Hey Shannon, have you heard anything recently on jersey quality for fan market? I worry they will be trash like all the Fanatic jerseys. Please give me hope.
So the Adidas ones haven't been a smooth ride either. Adidas, there's sizing issues that happen with them that I don't remember being as prominent with Reeboks.
Right.
Now that lawsuit that they had about, they're not authentics, that got thrown out of court. We knew it would be. But
all I've heard them say is the on ice ones.
See,
will
and the
not
thing
be
is,
the same.
the thing is, the on ice ones are made to wear over equipment. So, for instance, what I'm wearing here is, I think this one's a medium. But if it was an NHL medium, it would be much bigger on the arms. You'd have to have room for all your padding,
shoulder, yeah,
and it looks ridiculous. So unless you're actually going to be out skating, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to have the on ice version for wearing every day. So it didn't make sense for me. I have some concerns about Fanatics quality control. There are too many examples of the quality control not being good enough. I do think that in terms of the product itself, it should be fine, but I wouldn't expect like the on ice authentics to be available to the public. I wouldn't expect a great improvement in the relationship between fans and the jersey maker. We go from Adidas to Fanatics. So that's
we'll
why
have to see if they make the difference, because now we've got the Adidas and we've got the Fanatics, and the Fanatics are kind of
Ben emailed me about a week after the Fanatics thing was announced, and he was inundated with sales immediately. Everybody buying the Adidas. So if you're on the fence, like, I don't know. Well, Cool Hockey's going to have their sale for teams that are out of the playoffs once we're officially into the playoffs next week. I would think stock up this year and next year, because again, we don't know what's going to happen with Fanatics.
Do the Wild even have a chance to reach conference finals?
They have a chance.
Absolutely do.
They have a chance. I'm just concerned because they seem to be in a position where now they're going to be on the road, probably playing either Dallas or Colorado to start the playoffs, and that's not optimal. Dallas has definitely got over whatever malaise they were in Colorado as a machine. So I don't know that I would pick Minnesota over either of those teams. And then if Minnesota loses to Dallas in the playoffs, she makes me sleep out in the garage, and we don't have a garage. So
we don't.
So I have to find like a neighbor that'll let me sleep in their garage. So that gets really awkward.
That's definitely not what would happen. Jersey wise, would Dallas Philly be prettiest? Oh, final? No, that would not be the prettiest. That would not
prettiest
be
final.
That wouldn't be pretty at all. That wouldn't be pretty. That would be kind of ugly.
I mean, if
those colors don't go together at all.
If Vancouver can wear the skate, I would have Vancouver in the final with the skate, because that'd feel like a nice throwback. And then
I'm trying to think what teams. There are teams that I think their games are really
almost
pretty.
every team that I really like the jerseys of is in the West.
That I've
so like the Kings, the Wild, Vancouver. If you include reverse retros, Calgary. See, people are going to say he's going to say Boston, and no, I'm not, because I've already seen Vancouver, Boston. It's a no for me. Vancouver Buffalo would be the ultimate final.
That wouldn't be pretty though.
Yes, it would. That Buffalo jersey is fantastic now with the 3D Buffalo on it. It's great.
That would not be pretty. There are some really fun ones. I really liked the other day when the Sharks played Seattle. That's pretty. That's a pretty game.
But those are two Western teams.
I know. I'm just saying those are pretty.
So Toronto and Vancouver, just because everybody melt down?
That would be a fun game, but that wouldn't be pretty.
I don't know. I like the Leafs jerseys now.
I do. I've always liked the Leafs jerseys.
But... That is interesting. It does feel like the teams that okay. In the East, you have Boston, Buffalo, Carolina, Detroit, Florida. Would Florida be a pretty one then for the finalists?
For who?
No, just as a Stanley Cup final.
It depends.
Be their regular jerseys,
but it depends on who they're playing with.
So Florida, Vancouver, Florida, LA, or Florida, Minnesota. I know that's where you lean.
I vote yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Where was I? Tell us how Lou Lamoriello was a major help to Bettman in the War of 1812 by botching the Ghost invasion in 1805.
The invasion in 1805 was related to 1812. Now, Lou Lamoriello was a part of it. And it's not a very well-known fact either that Lou Lamoriello originally thought up the Incredible Hulk. And it was based on something that happened in the War of 1812. There was this big guy, he was about 8 feet tall. he had that echoplegia thing that Andre the Giant had, that thing. You know, you have that thing in your neck that makes it so you don't stop growing. So, I think that's what Frankenstein was supposed to symbolize in those things.
No.
So
that's not.
Actually,
Oh my gosh.
actually,
no,
Frankenstein.
Okay, as soon as you say
And where that comes
actually,
from
no. Okay.
is an
Anyways.
interesting story.
No, it's not.
Back in
No,
1765.
Okay. Anyways, do you own championship rings? No. And if the Bruins win the cup, please record your reaction.
Well, yeah. You guys would see my reaction.
What was it forever ago? The Boston won something. I came and took a little video of you dancing. That was forever ago. Like
that was when they
like
went to the Stanley Cup
ago.
Stanley Cup final in 2019.
Okay.
That was when they went to the
I knew
final.
it was a while ago. I took a little video of him dancing. Because he's cute when he dances.
Yeah, that was in the old house.
Yeah, he said, yeah, that was in the old house.
So that wasn't when they went to the final.
That's what I was thinking. It was before that. It was at the old house.
2018, 2017.
I don't remember.
I mean, you got the picture of me when Washington knocked out Pittsburgh.
I don't remember.
You know, where I had my arms
Pretty
raised.
sure Bear is a Habs fan.
I thought we had decided she was a Ducks fan. Years and years ago, we decided she was a Ducks fan.
Yeah.
And considering the way she watches the videos on YouTube of birds, it should probably be a fan of the Ducks. Probably the Penguins as well.
Got a pair. Hey, Shannon, just wanted to say thank you for doing a detailed power ranking every week. The NHL's power rankings are copy and paste of the standings.
They still have Carolina at second. Carolina's 4-5-1 in their last 10. And they're still second on the power rankings. And it's like, I get it, but it's not just the standings. It's that if you're just watching a game here and there, then the standings are what you're going to base a lot of it on. That's why I watch as many games as I can, because then I get an idea for who's playing really well and who just isn't right now. But I understand, and that's why too, like, the advanced stats really help them out, because like, oh look, the advanced stats say these are the best teams. Right. Done.
Things that seem more undoable: Caps beat Pens in the second round before it happened, or Toronto passed the first round?
Toronto passing the first round, because Carolina or the Capitals, it hadn't been that many years in a row that they had lost to Pittsburgh, and there had been the occasional victories over Pittsburgh along the way.
What do you think the Rangers' chances are against New Jersey in the first round? And if you want to feel old, Rod Brindamore's eldest son is a senior in college and just won the NCAA title last night.
Yep, he did. Skyler. I like the Rangers' chances against the Devils. I do. I think that for the Rangers, Igor's playing his best hockey of the season right now. And yeah, New Jersey, they're a really good young team, but the experience, I think, favors the Rangers. I like the goaltending for the Rangers as well. So unless the Devils end up passing Carolina, if we get the Rangers and the Devils, I like the Rangers in that one.
I found a DVD on the War of 1812 and said out loud that Shannon snuck into my house to leave it here. That's funny. Oh, Malachi had a question on one of his his assignments this week that had something about the War of 1812, and he wrote afterward, and it burn. Arrogant worms. They're great. Will the Jets make the playoffs?
I think so.
Yes.
I think so.
They're playing
above the
way
line.
better than they were.
That game last night against Nashville, that's how you want to see them play. They got 2 games left. And especially if Nashville could knock off Calgary tomorrow, they're in good shape. They're in good shape.
They've been playing way better than they were.
Absolutely.
Though. Way better.
It's been much better experience
since that
watching
break.
Their games lately.
Since they had the break, they've gotten way better.
Yep, they've definitely been playing better.
Calgary Wranglers win the cup.
We'll get to see the Wranglers this week. Wranglers are coming into Abbotsford, so we'll get a chance to see them.
Yeah.
I do intend to go to a couple of Abbotsford games this week. There are a couple of quieter nights in the NHL where I can do that, and Thursday is going to be ridiculous. So Wednesday and Friday, I figure I can go to the Abbotsford games.
Woohoo! That's great. Let's see. Thoughts on Blackwood's performance last night. Was very impressed that he got up to 38 saves after Zeka put 2 into the net and embarrassed us.
Yeah. So Pavel Zacha clearly inspired playing against his former team. But yeah, Blackwood, after those first 2 goals, the guy was a wall. Blackwood's the one that I think they would like to get going. Vanacek's been the better goaltender this year. But we've seen in years past, Blackwood, when he gets on a roll, he can be really, really good. And I think that's what they're hoping for here.
Ever been to a playoff game?
No.
Too expensive.
Prices are just ridiculous.
Yeah. We
When the
can't afford
Canucks-
those tickets.
Yeah, if the Canucks had not been in a bubble in 2020, there's no way we would have been able to watch them. So
If you guys notice which games we go to,
cheap.
you can tell we go
Yeah,
to
they're
the
cheap.
cheaper games. There's a reason we've seen the Ducks, Islanders,
Kings, Coyotes,
yeah,
Devils.
yeah. Those are the teams that we've seen play Vancouver because they're cheaper tickets.
cheap.
We can't afford
Cheap
expensive
tickets.
No. Who do you think Boston wants least in round 1?
I would say the Islanders.
Oh, did I miss a super
I don't
chat?
think they'd have a problem with Florida, and I don't think, and I mean
No?
by a problem, I mean not past 5 games. And I don't think Pittsburgh can knock them off either. But I think the Islanders, Sorokin can get red hot. All they need to do is steal one of the first 2 games, and things can get really difficult.
I don't
Read me
see
that
any
one.
that I missed. Oh, are teams allowed to wear any alternative jerseys in the playoffs?
So the NHL has a weird rule about jerseys in the playoffs. You can only wear one home and one away. So let's say that the Kings say, well, we want to wear our nice white throwback with our silver helmets. Then they have to wear that every single road game. And then every single home game, they'd have to wear their black jerseys.
Those
So
silver helmets look so
the Canes,
silly.
the Canes did that before the black jersey became their official home jersey. They made that the one they were wearing in the playoffs, and that's when we knew that was what they were going to wear the following season.
Will Stutzel be
Stutzla.
be the Sens' all-time points leader?
If he sticks around long enough, I think Brady Tkachuk's going to take a run at that too. It is tough though to become the all-time points leader on the Sens. A lot of points for him to catch up, but he's a very talented forward.
Do the New York Rangers have enough toughness to contend for Cup with Trouba, Schneider, Harper, and Lindgren? If Leafs win in 5 versus Tampa, can they go far?
The only thing holding the Leafs back has been the Leafs. Just it's been the mental side of it that's hurt them. As far as toughness, the Rangers showed us last year what they could do in the playoffs. I don't see any reason why they can't do it again. Lindgren might be one of the toughest players in the National Hockey League. Absolutely ridiculous what his body will go through, and he'll still come back and play. So yeah, I think the Rangers are capable. But what?
You're not pinning her. Who do you think goes further in the playoffs, the Avs or the Oilers?
Well, right now I would pick the Avs, but I'm kind of hoping I'm wrong on that. It would be nice to see another Canadian team go really far in the playoffs.
Have teams ever approached you about inviting to games?
When we went to Anaheim 3.5 years ago, the first time we went to Disney, we got tickets that were through somebody with the team.
Yeah.
That's about as close as it's gotten, though.
Yeah.
Like the Canucks have never reached out to me for something like that. They want me to buy tickets. I get called a lot about buying tickets. And when I tell them I'm not interested, they just keep calling and emailing me, so it doesn't matter.
There's still time to get tickets for this game.
But yeah, I haven't been approached by anybody. Hey, Katie.
With Bergeron and Krejci most likely retiring this year, how do the Bruins solve their lack of center depth? Who could you see being acquired?
Well, we don't. It's not a great free agent market this year, so it's not going to be a free agent who gets it done. In the center market's not great either. I could see them looking at maybe if Ryan O'Reilly hits the market, but O'Reilly's not a top 2 center. I think that if Bergeron and Krejci both leave, that would put the Bruins into a position where they have to do a quick retool.
Dear Canada, we haven't forgotten about you burning down the White House in the War of 1812. We've just been laying low, waiting to strike. Sincerely yours, America. I think most Americans have forgot about that, but Canadians have not.
That's why we all live on the border, just in case. Isn't it like 90% of Canadians live within an hour of the border or something?
Yeah. Like does the entertainment guy ever do live streams? Rarely, usually during the off season.
But yeah, during the off season.
Yeah. Also, how did you cope with depression before you found Yvonne?
Not well. It really was. I would just work. So one of the ways that the channel ended up being a thing was that I would work for 8 hours a day and then come home and then make videos, and then that filled the time. So I found that as long as I was busy, I wasn't focusing on it, and that helped my mood right there. Obviously, meeting Yvonne has helped probably about 20%. With the most of it, some maybe 10. I don't know. I mean,
thanks, Shannon. I'm so glad I can help you.
My life's at least 10% better. 10%. At least.
Oh, I'm so glad.
You've made me feel.
I'm so glad I can help you.
Yeah. Right?
Such a brat. Okay. Is OEL trade doable? And if so, how and to where?
I don't know if you can trade Ekman Larson, because for a team to take on that contract, you're going to have to throw in some futures. You're going to have to throw in some other considerations. And I don't think the Canucks are in a position to do that. I think that a Myers buyout is possible, not probable. Once they've paid Myers his bonus money on the 1st of July, he becomes much more tradable.
As a Devils fan, I'd rather play the Rags than the Islanders. I also remember the Bruins having trouble with the Isles in round 2, 1 to 2 years back. Orlov, Hathaway, and Bertuzzi should definitely help.
Yeah, Bertuzzi's played better after kind of a slow start. Hathaway and Orlov have slowed down from that ridiculous start they had. I think Boston should beat the Islanders, but yeah, it would probably go to 6 or 7 games either way.
Bear's like, stop touching him. Bear says no. Yeah, she's number 1. I'm number 2. She's here, so I don't need to be. She lets me know frequently.
No, you're a good kitty. She's a good.
She tells me, don't you, Bear? Yes. Great coverage all year. Amazing work with great jokes sprinkled in all season. Go Ducks.
Thank you. At least 10%. I don't know why you're laughing like you're surprised. It's engraved on all your wedding rings.
Dork. Okay. What?
What's the problem? Why are you broken?
She's meowing at both of us. She's look at him. Look
why
at
are
me,
you broken?
Look at him. Look at me.
This is what I always ask her. Why are you broken? Because she meows like she's broken.
Let's see. What? Oh my gosh. Jimmy's in the well. That's probably it. Despite Carolina just beating them.
Aren't the Isles a big problem for Carolina? I also salivate picturing second round of the Islanders, Rangers, Boston, Toronto. Oh, Islanders, Rangers would be fantastic. I would love that series. And yeah, Boston, Toronto would be a bloodbath this year. What? What? And notice when I'm making videos, she knows and she doesn't make a sound.
It's like the kids. The kids know the difference between a regular video and a live stream. They're way more obnoxious during a live stream. How's living in Abbotsford? Fantastic.
Better than Chilliwack.
I really like Abbotsford.
No shade to Chilliwack, but I prefer Abbotsford.
I really like Abbotsford. I really like living here. I chose to live in Abbotsford.
Come up here.
Yep. I really like Abbotsford.
Yeah, lay down here and be quiet.
Great. We're close enough to Vancouver if we want to be. Like, if we want to go there.
You're fine.
But we don't have to deal with Vancouver traffic, and
You're
it's
fine.
way cheaper than
You're
Vancouver.
fine, kitty.
I like Abbotsford. And we can go
You're
walk
fine.
anywhere. We've got a gajillion
You're fine.
lakes.
What do you need? What do you need?
This cat. Which cats are lap cats? Yes.
I think all of them are. Well, no, Maple's
Yes.
not.
Yes, she is when she chooses to be.
Maple's the more independent.
Maple's the only one that it's always on her terms.
Maple's actually a cat.
But she loves people, and she's
Maple's a
always
cat.
happy.
The
Except
other
for she
ones are
likes us to
not
rub her
cats.
belly.
It's,
She lays on her back with her belly up, and she loves it when you come over and rub her belly.
yeah, which
She's
cats are
so
not
weird.
supposed to like that.
All of our cats are weird. All of our cats like to lay on us and sit on our laps. Well, no, Shadow doesn't like to.
He'll do it with me.
Yeah,
I can't
but
even sit
only
down.
you. Only you.
If I sit down, he knows I've sat down.
That's how Pixel
he
is with me.
runs.
But I'm like, nope, I'm not staying here. I have to know.
Because I will hear him running from across the house like, did Dad just sit down? And he comes running.
Best part of living in BC?
Temperate climate.
I was gonna say probably the climate.
Doesn't get too cold, doesn't get too hot.
Yes, as long as
It's
you
rainy,
don't
but
mind
that's
the
your
rain.
trade-off.
But the rain is what makes it beautiful. I think we live in a beautiful part of the world.
Yeah, like if I was filming a show that has Canada and Paradise in the same title, I'd probably film it around here and not in Northern Ontario.
With all the bugs.
You can see the bugs.
As soon as we saw they were in Ontario, we were like, oh, bugs. Yep, there they are. How Canada can we make this? I know. We'll have everybody wear buffalo plaid.
It's this swath of mosquitoes and black flies. Man.
This show is so Canada.
So sexy and romantic. It really isn't.
I know. We'll have an inflatable moose. And beaver. We need beaver. I'm surprised they haven't been eating like poutine.
You're drinking maple syrup out of a bottle.
They haven't been drinking Caesars. What's up with that?
I did see somebody with a Caesars.
I'm surprised it isn't more. Because it's the Twisted Tea is their sponsor.
Because I saw him pouring out. I saw him pouring out a Clamato, and I was like, "Yep, yeah. So somebody's having a Caesar."
That would make it more Canadian.
Yeah, absolutely.
That shows. Anyways, yeah, we live in an awesome part, and another really cool thing about living here, we're really close to the ocean. We've got the islands. We have mountains, beautiful mountains. Any hiking, we've got lakes and rivers, and if we want snow, we drive to it. We only have to drive an hour to get to snow and snowshoeing and skiing and all that, but we don't have to drive in it. We very rarely have to drive in it. We live in an awesome area.
Yes.
Yeah. Which teams do you think goes a new route with colors, stripes, or jerseys when Fanatics take over? My picks are Anaheim, Carolina, Ottawa, Nashville, Washington, or Winnipeg.
I could see Winnipeg making a change in their jerseys. Nashville is too much gold. It's just too much gold.
Yes.
I'd like to see something done there. One thing is we don't know how they're going to be made. So with Reebok, you had the piping. And so teams colored the piping. So we may see a difference in how they're made with Fanatics, that maybe there's some kind of an additional feature that could potentially happen.
Despite Carolina just beating them, aren't the Isles a bigger problem for Carolina? And I also salivate picturing a second round of Islanders, Rangers, and Boston, Toronto.
Right now, with the way Carolina's playing, I don't know that there are many teams that wouldn't be a problem on some level for them. It's been a rough last few weeks. There's the kayak commercial.
Oh, that was funny. Would you say you are the most recognizable YouTuber of hockey? I'm surprised the NHL hasn't tried to reach out for more collaboration. Why get it done, Yvonne?
Yeah, come on, Yvonne. I really honestly, there's been almost no communication between the NHL and myself at any point, other than when I had the copyright strike. And I had to contact them, and that was an absolute nightmare getting a response.
True.
But outside of that, yeah, it's
he even says, "Do you know who I am?" and didn't.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, I really don't think about it. I really don't think about it. I'm always at home. I really don't think about it.
Bear clearly wants catnip. LOL. They do like catnip. The cat's bear
does.
isn't. I don't think out of all of the cats, she seems to be the one that likes catnip the least.
She's not as big on it. But lately she's been having the zoomies and the. That's why I had to put up her toy last
But she
night.
doesn't need catnip for that.
No, but she's been a little
The
more
other
energetic
cats
lately.
like
Maybe she'd like it
catnip
more
a
right
lot.
now.
She likes it the least. The other cats like it more. Happy Easter.
Thank you.
Happy Easter. Mountains in the ocean. Yep. That's awesome part. Did Toffoli's great third career year save the Flames from an even more disappointing season?
He's been their MVP. He's been absolutely excellent for them. Yeah, they wouldn't be anywhere near the playoffs without his performance.
Thoughts on the Devils' ability to sign Quinn Hughes in the future? We'll have to free up some cap space. For now, we only need to sign Bratt and Meyer.
It's another 4 years before Quinn Hughes is available. 4 years from now, the salary cap could be upper 90 millions, maybe up to 100 million. The salary cap's going to go up a lot next summer. So, yeah, there'll be the cap space unless he decides he wants to stay in Vancouver. And it looks like the Canucks are leaning towards him being the captain.
Okay. What do you think about Quinn giving a speech last night after the game?
It's a sign that he's probably going to be the next one to take the mantle. Maybe Pettersson's not as comfortable with it as he is. I think that, Quinn Hughes is one of the best defensemen in the game. I'm really happy he's a Canuck. I've never really said a bad thing about him. There was the one rookie thing he had going where he would always do the drop pass, and I never knew where they were going, but his game's really improved.
How do Islanders fix old forwards with no high prospects?
They're going to have to go out on the free agent market and find guys for reasonable costs. The good news is that everybody's facing a flat cap this year, so they could sign some guys to 1-year deals. It can be done.
Who wins Calder? What's your take?
Probably Beniers, although Skinner you can make an argument for. You make an argument as well for Owen Power and for Jake Sanderson too.
Which cat is likely to take over the channel is the hockey cat.
Azrael.
I was gonna say Azrael too.
If any cat could be trained to be her.
As a fellow BC resident, I'm going kayaking as soon as the live stream is done. We live in such a beautiful place. We absolutely do.
Yep.
And that'd be fun.
Like Happy Gilmore was filmed in BC.
My kiddos like to. That's just me.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was a rabbit.
Nope, it's just me. We've got 2 kiddos that really like kayaking. Let's see. We've got. Did I get that one? I did. Okay.
Yep.
Somebody's asking about Horvat's comments yesterday again.
I don't take it as a big deal. I don't.
I think people are making a bigger deal out of it than necessary.
I mean, he's having, he's going through his adjustment to a new team, and I'm not that surprised that he'd be positive about the Islanders.
Sorokin, Vezina, Allmark play more like team play.
I think Allmark's going to win the Vezina. If you look at the stats and you look at the advanced numbers, there isn't really a stat where Allmark doesn't win it. I think it'll be Allmark. I think Sorokin and probably Hellebuck are going to be the top 3. But yeah, it's Sorokin's. Even in Boston now, they're calling him the Vezina winner because he's going to win it.
Love from Finland, fan of the channel since 2020 COVID break. Getting people hooked on hockey when there's no hockey, something only Shannon could do. Oh, back when we were doing a gajillion live streams.
Yeah, I was trying.
Yeah, that worked for us too. Yeah, we weren't just doing that for everybody else. We were doing that for us too.
Yep. Did Hines do enough to save his job after the deadline? I think Nashville's done a good job of staying in the hunt, despite not having the roster that you would think would be a contender for the playoffs. It really is about what Barry Trotz thinks. I sadly, I get the feeling that even with the run that Nashville's been on, Hines probably ends up out of work just because it's going to be a new boss.
Do you think Setzel gets 40 goals, 3 goals left, or 90 points, 4 points left before the season ends?
I'll say yes. It feels like this is a year where a lot of guys are hitting some pretty big benchmarks, so why not Stützle as well?
And BC's great if you love rain. If you don't, go up north. They don't get as much rain. They have bigger bugs, though.
True.
They have a lot bigger bugs, and it's way colder in the winter. It's pretty, but it's totally different kind of pretty. Let's see. Oh, no. It's skipping around again.
What did you do?
It's skipping around.
Why?
I don't know. It's irritating. Are you interested in Euro hockey? Maybe catch a game.
I've watched the European leagues. They do show their games here and there on TSN, but they're usually earlier in the day when I'm doing videos. And so I've caught some of it. I mean, it's still good hockey. This is like I talked recently about if you can't afford an NHL game, go to an AHL game, junior hockey, NCAA. It's good hockey. But yeah, European hockey is different. The ice surface is different, so it definitely makes a difference there, but it's still good hockey.
Thank you, Shannon. You rock. And Yvonne, keep him humble. Yeah, keep you humble.
Well, by about 10%.
Dork. How far do you think the Dallas Stars can go in the playoffs this year? Go Stars.
Oh, I would love to see them go on a run like 2020. I think they've got a lot of talent. I think if they match up with Minnesota in the first round, I think they can beat Minnesota. If it's Colorado in the second round, I don't know that they can stop Colorado. The one thing is, Georgiev doesn't really have a playoff resume. Ottinger does. If Ottinger can play anywhere near as well as he did against Calgary, they could come out of their division.
Shannon does look really handsome in a Penguins jersey. Well, Shannon looks handsome in all of the jerseys, but I would not say specifically Penguins jerseys because it's still a Penguins jersey.
No, there are certain ones that I definitely think I look best in.
Agreed.
That was part of what made me a Bruins fan, was that the first jersey I got was a Bruins jersey, and I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, actually, that's kind of nice. Isn't too bad. It's not bad at all. And that was right around the time where I started cheering for them anyway. So I was like, all right, cool. Got a team in the East and a team in the West. I wore it to school all the time and I got compliments on it. And I was like, hey, cool. People are complimenting me on my hockey jersey. Nice. So that's what started it.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter to you as well.
Happy Easter to everybody. Okay. What do you think will happen to the Leafs if they don't get success in this year's playoffs? Lots of big contracts coming up.
I think this would be like Kyle Dubas didn't have his contract extended. So I think he's playing for his contract. And I think if the Leafs are playing for his contract. If the Leafs don't get out of the first round, I think we'll see a change. At some point in time, you have to make a change, and you have to make sure that Matthews and Marner want to stick around because they're both unrestricted at the end of their contracts. So this would be the summer to make a major change if they don't get out of the first round.
Proud dad moment. I took my girls 4-2 to an Idaho Steelheads game of ECHL, and they had a blast. So much fun. I'm buying a mini season ticket package for next season.
There you go.
I took our daughter, Adelaide, she's 10, to a game last night, just her and I, and she had a blast. She wore her little bunny ears, and being like the Easter game, they were giving out chocolates and stickers, and we got little, I got my tattoo.
Still can't believe you got a permanent tattoo.
She got whatever. She got a little tattoo too, and we got.
You should have got it on your face.
No, they did ask if I wanted the tattoo on my face, and
you should have got it on your face.
Laughed at them.
If you're a real fan, you would have worn it on your face.
That's so not something.
Right on your forehead. Just a little
your forehead.
Johnny Canuck right on your forehead.
Yeah, that'd be cute.
And then a stick and rink on this face, and a skate jersey on that face, and then spackle some other logos on there, and cover the whole dang thing up with hockey.
I don't cover up your face with hockey.
Cover up your face with hockey.
Higher ceiling, Dak or Suzuki?
Suzuki's going to be the better two-way forward. Doc's the better goal scorer. So different ceilings, different players.
Shannon is not doing a playoff beard.
No, I look
no.
70.
It's totally Shannon's choice, but he knows I like
Your hands are
not
so
hairy.
cold.
I know they're really
How?
cold.
How?
Because my
How?
tea isn't warm
How?
enough to warm up my hands
How?
anymore. Thoughts on Holstrom? I think bad pick, like Bailey.
Holmstrom, serviceable. The NHL level, it's still too early to say what the ceiling's going to be with him. But he wasn't a top 5 pick, and you're always dealing with some uncertainty when you're not drafting in the top, I'd say top 5.
Shannon with a 5 o'clock shadow. Shannon's facial hair grows so fast. So fast.
I had that argument with a supervisor of mine at my first full-time job. I told her, I said, I am clean shaven when I come to work, because she always had this argument with me. You never shave. And I'm like, I am. So I went up to her first thing at work, and I went, see, look, nothing. And then at the end of the day, she looks at me, she goes, I can actually watch your facial hair grow. And I'm like, yeah. I said, and it's all falling out of my head because God hates me. That's how that works. So all the growth and all the energy went into my facial hair. So my head, nah, that hair can fall out. What are you doing?
She found a toy and she needs to kill it.
I don't normally let her bring the toys in here because she's kind of ridiculous with them.
She doesn't really care if you let her. She's doing it anyways.
Move this out. Okay, come on.
Do the toenails grow as much as your facial hair?
Feels like it.
He definitely has man toenails. I'm so glad I'm a girl.
That's why I had to do that video on things I wish people had told me about when I'm aging. The toenails are just horrifying.
So glad I'm a girl. I don't have to worry about shaving my face or nope.
Like I have to make sure my feet are bent away from her at all times. I don't want to cut her in her sleep. It's like, why am I bleeding, toenail? Sorry.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Do you think Landeskog will play in any remaining regular season games?
I think if he could, he'd be in the lineup immediately. They need him, and they need him to be ready. Hopefully, he's good to go this week because, I mean, you can bring him back in the playoffs. It's interesting, too, because there have been different reports on how extensive the injury is and whether or not it might end up being career-threatening. But, yeah, if they get him back for the playoffs, that would be absolutely huge.
Shannon should be happy he isn't a woman in her 50s. I'm pretty sure there's several reasons that he's happy he's not a woman in his 50s. I'm happy he's not a woman in his 50s.
No, see, I already took the toy out. Sweetie. What are you doing?
We have a lot of cats in this room right now.
What are you doing?
For your happiness, which favorite team needs to win a conference?
For my happiness, it'll be Vancouver.
No, I was
because Dallas won the conference in 2020, and
feet are gross.
Boston had a run in 2019. Yeah, I'm not a feet person at all.
Shannon would be an ugly woman.
Agreed. Yeah.
Be a hairy woman.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
See, and there's my jersey. The jersey that Happy Gilmore wears is the jersey I wore.
We need the Canucks in the playoffs to see Shannon grow a beard. Nope. Also, thoughts on Keandre Miller?
Keandre Miller is one of the best two-way defensemen in the NHL. I would have said one of the best defensive defensemen coming into this year, but yeah, he's shown a really good two-way game. The ceiling is really, really high with him, and he's just getting into the best of it.
My fiance is the opposite with beards. She says I look like I'm 12 when I don't have a beard. I can see that on some guys. Yeah, makes you look like a kid.
I think that's why some hockey players grow the mustaches and beards. It does make them look old.
The mustaches look silly. Mustaches are silly.
So you're telling me I should grow a mustache?
Please don't. Please don't. How do you choose your hair color?
That's going to be you. Because I don't choose my hair color. It's been chosen
I've had
for
this
me.
color of hair for many, many years. This is just the color I do.
I subscribe to
So I
her hair color.
Shannon buys me my hair dye because he's nice.
Yep. It's I think it's every 3 months.
I've had this hair color for quite a few years. And then before that, I just had my natural hair color. But when I was in my 20s, I had more burgundy because it wasn't as easy to find like purple. It was harder to find colored hair color except for Manic Panic. Nope. I've only done purple.
Did you want
and burgundy.
me to start getting you Manic Panic?
No, I don't like Manic Panic.
But the name, Manic Panic, sounds fantastic.
It's not. It's not. That used to be like all I could find was Manic Panic, and I don't like Manic Panic, and so I would do burgundy because then I'd have fun colored hair. But I realized when I dyed my hair burgundy that I do in fact look exactly like my mom. And she's on here, so she might know what I'm talking about, but I look exactly like her when I have dark hair. What does Vancouver do if Hughes says he wants to go play with his brothers or Pedersen doesn't want to sign long term?
The Canucks would have to cross the road when they get to it. I think Pedersen's going to stay, though. I'd be very surprised if Pedersen doesn't stick around. Hughes, there might be that concern, but his contract's in place for another 4 years.
Mustache and lamb chops. No. Oh my gosh. Shannon would look silly. I know. Sorry for those of you that have a mustache. I really don't like them. I think they look silly. I really don't like mustaches.
When I was in my 20s,
especially when you only have a mustache.
Yeah, when I was in my 20s, I had a goatee.
I know it's like
I liked having a goatee when I had the dark hair, and then it started going gray. And after that, I was like, nope, because any gray facial hair, it makes you look older. So I end up looking significantly older than I am. I remember the last time I grew a goatee, and it was during a week off that I grew a goatee. And I was like, I'm not at work anyways. And then I went in to visit somebody at work. And this one coworker comes in, wow, that ages you like 15 years. And I was like,
all right. So that's
and I want to turn to go, yeah, screw you too. Thanks. But everybody else at the table looked at her like, what? But yeah, so then I went home and shaved it off. I was like, all right, that's done with that.
That's like when people tell you, wow, you look really sick today. Cool. Thank you.
I do that every now and then. You look
like crap too. I know you do to me.
Yeah.
Because you're a brat.
I tell you if you look like crap.
I know.
I'm a good husband that way.
You think
I usually buy her a gift card though with that.
Can make a deep run again.
Yes. The Rangers, as long as you've got Shesterkin, as long as you've got that blue line, they can make a deep run.
What's with all the little hearts?
That means people are loving the stream, I think. I think that's when people like the stream, I think.
But why would maybe.
I think they're
Can
trying.
You guys see the little hearts?
I think they're trying to emulate.
Like on Facebook.
It's like emulating TikTok too.
Oh, I don't go on TikTok. I'm too old.
I went on it's weird seeing myself on TikTok.
That's weird. Okay.
So, anyways,
how do you think Vancouver fans actually change management?
You can't. The only way management changes is from the top down. So unless Francesco Aquilini makes a change in how he approaches things, I don't see fans can change management. If you don't show up and you don't pay for the product, it doesn't necessarily mean a management change. It could mean changes of some other variety we might not like. So yeah, we can be nice about it. We can ask, we can hope, but yeah, I don't think fans have any real say in it, which is too bad.
Did Shannon ever own an El Camino?
Those are car trucks. Back when I was a kid, I called them car trucks.
Yes, I still do. So.
And I thought they were the neatest, coolest things ever, even though they were completely useless. They weren't strong enough to actually carry anything.
Right.
But at least they look goofy.
We do not have dogs. We have enough animals as it is. And we have 3 children, one of which is special needs and would not do well with dogs.
Right.
And I don't have enough time in the day to walk a dog. It would not be fair to a dog.
No, dogs require a lot of time and a lot of attention.
We have animals, children, and one child that would not.
And then you have to make sure you're getting a dog that's good with the rabbits, that's good with. So we'd have to get a puppy. And if you get a puppy, there's even more stuff because then you got to train them. It would be a nightmare.
Would you trade McDavid for McKinnon and McCarr?
Yes, but Colorado would say no to that. And I say yes because Makar is, to me, the best defenseman in the league.
I get told that I look really tired when I'm not. That's the best, isn't it? I get that too because I get the under eye.
I tell
I've
you
had
that
that
a
since
lot.
I was little.
I
Since
tell
I was
her
little, I
often.
get the purple
If
under
I
my
don't
eyes
think
sometimes.
if I don't think she looks pleasing, I make sure that she knows that I don't find her pleasing that
He
day.
does not.
'Cause that's
Shannon would
important.
never.
That's important.
Because Shannon's a very
Also,
nice husband.
I
He's not a
suggest
jerk.
having a crucifix on hand. So at times you go, well, if you see them out of the corner, you know, and then you can laugh
It's not
about
a
it.
thing. He's
can
totally
laugh
making
about it.
crap up.
And then you can have a good joke about it after.
He does not.
Right.
He would never.
You can start yelling, "The power of Christ compels you," and start throwing holy water. Just regular water works too. Because again, you know, it's funny. People find that funny. So
okay. Anyways, what's your next redraft year? I vote for 2002. And do you think Draisaitl makes it to free agency in 2026?
Draisaitl, I think it's the same as the situation with Matthews and Marner. With these young guys who are going to get to free agency, if you want to keep them around, you have to show them you're going to win. You have to show them that they're going to win championships. So in the event that Draisaitl, by the time he's up, if the Oilers don't have like a Stanley Cup final run, if they look like they're going in the wrong direction, it's more difficult to keep them. What was the other part of that?
I don't know. Did you do the Draisaitl part?
I just did the Draisaitl.
I wasn't listening.
Of course you weren't listening.
Oh, the next redraft.
Redraft here. I haven't even thought about the next redraft here. I usually just go through the drafts and go, this is an interesting one, and go from there.
Okay, so some people can see the hearts and some people don't see the hearts.
I think it would depend on whether you're on your phone
Wait,
or
there's
on
a heart button. Where's the heart button? I've never seen a heart button.
Because we're running the live stream. We're not on the live stream.
But I've been on the YouTube before.
All right. Well,
I've never seen a heart
next time you're
button.
on the weird
the
crotcheting
YouTube.
girls
You're
ones.
a crotcheting girl. Okay, deal or no deal. New Jersey offers Simon Nemec, Blackwood, and Blackwood and first for Hughes.
No.
See, now there's
Quinn
a
Hughes,
bajillion
no.
hearts. Somebody's doing tons of hearts.
And
Oh, there's other things.
See?
What? Where? I don't have these buttons.
Well,
man,
you don't have those buttons?
Don't start causing trouble. There's people watching.
There's 500,000 things I could say.
I know. Right. That's why I said don't start. There's people watching, and then they get you all. Shannon's like a kid. He is. I think most boys are. It's like a kid. And having a YouTube channel doesn't help because you guys encourage him. You guys think he's funny when he's being a dorky boy, and then it just ramps up from there. Okay, should Ottawa go with Forsberg? Are you done?
Probably.
Okay. Should Ottawa go with Forsberg, Sogard next year for the... I can still see you.
No, you can't. You're reading that.
Next year for the tandem. We have 3 kids. I'm used to having to watch people misbehave out of the corner of my eye. Right?
Forsberg, Sogard, I don't know. And I know there was talk about whether or not Talbot would stick around. I do like Sogard. I think Ottawa needs a real bona fide starter, though. If they're gonna make a push and get above that playoff line and stay there, they need a bona fide starter.
House squirrels.
That's gonna be tricky.
We need a house squirrel. We've got squirrels in our backyard, and they're cute. And we have a squirrel in the backyard that doesn't have a tail.
What are you eating?
He's doing good though. I give him lots of peanuts, so he's all right.
What are you into, sweetie?
Heart button is on my phone, but I don't see it on my laptop. Also, there's smiley faces. Yeah, I see like smiley faces, laughing faces, and like the confetti thing, but I don't see the buttons. I just see them when they
Azrael's eating dried banana.
Oh my gosh, this cat. She thinks she's a rabbit. She eats spinach. Like when I bring the veg out for the rabbits, she runs over and she's usually the first one there so that she can pick which spinach she can have. It's so ridiculous. Okay. Would you recommend living in British Columbia?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
There are a lot
It's
of
pricey.
people that
It's
live
pricey.
in
But
other
yes.
parts of Canada and they come and visit Vancouver and then they move here.
My
I
grandparents
know
were
a lot
transplants.
of people that
My
that moved here.
grandparents were in Ontario and moved out here, and then we moved out here from Saskatchewan, and yeah, BC.
My family just moved here from England, so
You can just drive here from England.
right, yeah, they drove. That's what happened.
It's true. That's when they had the land bridge, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, that's how we got here.
Shannon is funny. Yvonne. Shannon thinks he's funny. Shannon does need a timeout. Agreed. All the time.
Sewing.
Yvonne tell TEG that THG is being mean again. I don't know about being mean. He's kind of a brat, though. So,
Anyhow,
just got a chance to join, but do you have an opinion on what Bo said about the Canucks fans? Thank you for the videos every day. THG, usually a bright spot of my day.
I think telling New Yorkers that he prefers them as a fan base, I don't think is that big a deal. It's not like Bo's coming back to play in Vancouver. That ship sailed. And there's context to it as well, so I don't know exactly how he meant that. That's why when people ask me, what's the worst fan base in the league? I don't have an answer because it depends on what you qualify as the worst fans. Are the worst fans the ones that complain or the ones that don't show up? And so, I mean, yeah, I don't really read too much into what Bo said. I know Canuck fans are upset, but I don't think it's a big deal. It just means next time that the Islanders play in Vancouver, he's going to get booed.
Shannon is not from Saskatchewan. He lived in Saskatchewan for a short time.
Yeah,
but he's not from Saskatchewan.
Yeah, my dad was in the military, so I was born in Ontario. We lived in Newfoundland and then Saskatchewan, and then moved out here.
Any chance of a San Jose meetup?
We'd have to go to San Jose.
Yeah, I don't know. We're going to be in Anaheim in August, and we are planning to do a meetup there. That'll be in August in Anaheim. That's the closest we'll get there. But that's all we have
San
planned
Jose's
there.
Northern California.
I know it's quite a distance. We really don't do the tons of traveling and stuff. We only have small windows of time that we can travel because 3 children and there's only so much money for trips. See where it skipped. Hello, Shannon. Will you consider wearing a Brad Marchand jersey should Boston get their 63rd win in Philadelphia?
I do have a Marchand jersey.
He does.
I just haven't had a reason to wear it.
Is that a photo of John Garrett in the background?
Yes. I put the John Garrett picture up when it had always been on this wall, but I put it up here to be visible on all the cameras on all my videos because he's retiring. And I'm going to be doing a video on John Garrett. I'm just getting stuff to put it together. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be different than all the other career videos I've done. But I feel like I need to do this right because John Garrett was, like, when I started watching hockey, one of my absolute favorites.
Oh, Lisa sent me a message. Okay, I'll have to look. Hold on. Any hockey meetups planned?
We have one next Saturday in Coquitlam. The plan is to have one every couple of weeks once the off season's been reached. And then hopefully the NHL has some breaks in its schedule so I can have one between now and when the Stanley Cup's handed out.
Gotta come to Texas.
Yep.
So much to do here. We need meetup.
Dallas would be fun. Austin would be fun. From what I've heard, Austin's a really nice city to visit. So yeah, that'd be an enjoyable trip. Before the pandemic shut everything down in 2019, I had the idea for doing a trip where we went to Vegas and Dallas. Because from Vegas, there's like frequent trips to Dallas. It's like a hub, and It would have been easy enough. This summer, the plan is Vegas, then Anaheim, and then back home. But yeah, Dallas is on the list of places I want to go to soon.
I don't see the message, Lisa.
Thoughts about Michelli and Valimaki in Arizona? Michelli's been fantastic. You could argue him rookie of the year as well. Valimaki has had an incredible turnaround, and it's been great. It's been great to see that turnaround.
Oh, you do have a heart button. I'll have to look at that. What is that on? That's not a phone screenshot. What are you on, Lisa, that there's heart buttons?
It's the phone, because I saw people saying it, so they get it on their phone, but not otherwise.
Yeah.
People are arguing about Marchand, because there's those who think
Right.
he's dirty no matter what, and those that think he's
We should go to Scotland and take my mom.
Love Scotland.
And take my mom. There you go.
You could make me a kilt. I was thinking about it. Maybe instead of buying a kilt, you could make one. Now, apparently it's 8 yards of material to make one that's actually...
It's a lot of fabric.
Apparently it's 8 yards.
It's a lot, and you have to pleat it.
Yeah.
Which is, pleating is a pain if you don't have a pleater. I do not have a pleater, because what would I have a pleater for?
You are a pleater.
Dork. Okay.
You are, though.
What player do you think the Caps will select in the first round of the draft this year? Will they trade the pick, Bedard or Fantilli? Possible?
Well, I mean, if they slide enough, they have a chance to move up. This year's draft it's a deep draft. I would think that you go best player available. They'll probably be drafting in like the 10 to 12 region. At that point, it's really kind of a whichever player they value the most. I will be getting into draft picks over the next couple of weeks. I'll be going through prospects and prospect lists and all of that too. So I'll get more into that. And then once we know where everybody's drafting at the draft lottery, then I'll be better able to make a prediction on where I think guys are going to go.
Who's your favorite Bruin other than Bergeron?
Right now, Pasternak is absolutely fantastic. I think he's been their MVP this year. I know people hate Marchand. I get it, but I think Marchand's done a lot to clean up his game this year. And McAvoy's just absolutely remarkable. Love his game. I think he's one of the best all-around defensemen in the league.
With standing so close in the East, who do you think misses the playoffs? Love your channel. Keep up the good work.
Right now, it's Pittsburgh that's on the outside. Pittsburgh, though, from here, it's Columbus and Chicago they have. Maybe the Islanders end up missing. But it is going to be tough, because it feels like of those 3 teams, 2 of the 3 probably went out. And Florida's just playing so well right now. I'd be very surprised if Florida doesn't make it.
Which players should Isles target in the offseason?
Don't be surprised this offseason with the free agent market not being quite as full of big names as it normally is, if we see trades being made. So as long as the Islanders can be in a situation where they have the cap space to make it work, maybe they target somebody from a team that is going into a rebuild or a retool. Their defense is good. Their goaltending is really solid. Varlamov has a contract that's coming up this year. They'll probably get another backup goaltender, and then probably try to mess around with the forward group a little bit. But yeah, I think they'll be in good shape either way.
How's it going? Been a huge fan for many years now. Shannon, you make my day better with your videos. Hello from New York City. Who's your favorite current Ranger?
Keandre Miller would be up there for my favorite current Ranger. I've always liked Zibanejad. I still to this day don't understand the Ottawa Rangers trade. And if you look back on the video I made when the Rangers traded for Mika Zibanejad, I didn't understand it then. And a lot of the feelings I had then were basically they were accurate. That Zibanejad's just going to get better, and Brassard, I like Brassard, but it just didn't feel like that was enough.
What do you think Bruins do in the offseason?
It depends on Bergeron and Krejci. If they decide, we'll come back for another year, then they'll probably sign him for another couple of sweetheart deals. Otherwise, you're going to have the cap penalty from Krejci and Bergeron, and it's going to be tough for them to make big improvements. It'll probably be pretty status quo, and if they do lose Bergeron and Krejci, it's going to hurt them down the middle quite a bit.
Oh, my mom's leaving. Bye, Mom.
We're going to have to get going pretty quick.
I know.
Too.
I need to go
it's been about an hour
make
and a half.
food, and we still have to do our little Easter hunt, which
I still have to do video
not
stuff for
put
today.
Together yet.
Because it's Easter, but I still have to do video stuff. Because video stuff.
I know. But you got to do video stuff with me today. So, ta-da.
No, I didn't.
Right now, we're doing video stuff.
That's the live stream. Doesn't count.
Whatever.
Not
Totally
really.
counts. I actually saw you.
10%.
Really big fan of you guys. Happy Easter to you and everybody else.
Thank you.
Oh.
Same to you.
Chances Avs become a dynasty. 3 cups in 4 years.
It is so difficult to predict because you've got the flat cap, you've got injury problems that can crop up too. It really depends on how it goes this year. If they can win a second cup, they're in really good shape. But it's not easy to win 3 and 4 years. That's why it's been so long since it's happened.
Do you hate the Sharks less now that they're terrible?
I really don't hate the Sharks.
You hate the Sharks?
I really don't hate the Sharks.
Why do you hate the Sharks? Their
really
jerseys are pretty.
The only thing that
that?
I hate is that the team
Man.
isn't very good and their games always go to overtime.
I really dislike.
Always good.
Why 7:30? Why do they have to start at 7:30? Seriously.
And every time I'm
So
like,
irritating.
they're going to overtime in San Jose.
Of course they are.
Time.
Ugh.
Can't do the recap.
Do
yet.
they
They're
not
going to overtime.
understand that I would like to see my husband occasionally?
Oh, the number
Do
of
they
times I go to see her and she's already nodding off, and it's like,
Oh
well,
my gosh.
thanks,
yeah.
San Jose.
Well, because I have to wake up at 6 in the
Thanks,
morning.
Sharks.
So, any fun concerts coming up?
Unfortunately, we're not going to be here
No.
for Avenged Sevenfold,
I
which is
know.
too bad because that would have been fun. I want to go see Amanda Marshall, but I don't know that I want to put Yvonne through that. I don't think she'd enjoy Amanda Marshall. I've always loved Amanda Marshall, but I don't think
You've
she
gone
would.
to concerts that I like and you don't, though. So I'd go if it was a concert that you really wanted to see. I'd go with you.
It's at Queenie, and the tickets started around $90.
If it's a concert you really want to go to, I would go to it. I just wouldn't be singing along or anything. But that's okay.
Oh no,
I
I
don't
can
mind
play
for-
her music for you
Oh my
between
gosh,
now and
no,
then.
please don't. Please.
I
don't.
can sing you some of her songs between now and then. I have no problem with that whatsoever.
You can sing me songs all you want, but I'd rather not have to listen to it. Thank you.
But after I've sang it,
good.
and then you hear her sing it, you'll be like, "This is so
Wow,
much
this is
better.
really good."
This is actually pretty good." Wow, she's not tone deaf, huh? Sounds different when it's not somebody who can't carry a note with a handle on it, huh?
You just start the Sharks games in overtime. There you go. See?
All of them. They always go to overtime. Even the other night against Colorado, I was like, "Oh, thank God it's Colorado. Oh, they're up by 2 goals going into the third. Oh, that's done. Oh my gosh, they tied it. Oh no."
Always. It would be really hard living there, though. So we have here, going to games here, even games like last night, games that start at 7 o'clock, and we live close to the arena. That was still really late. I was messaging Shannon because Adelaide was getting kind of ridiculous because she was tired.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine starting at 7:30 and then going late on top of that. It would make it really hard to take kids to the game. And not just that, if you have to work the next day. I don't understand.
Yep.
Yeah. Devils fan in Texas need a new jersey. Who do I get?
From the Devils, I'd go with Heischer.
Thoughts on current Rangers core?
They're in good shape. I like their forward group. I like the defense. Honestly, the Rangers might be the best constructed team in the Metro.
Yvonne trying to be supportive, and there goes Shannon screwing it up. Right? It's just my life. You should visit Finland. Agreed. That would be awesome.
Yeah, no argument there.
That is definitely on our list of places that we would
Finland,
love
Sweden.
to go. Yeah, Finland's pretty high
Norway.
up there.
That whole archipelago there.
Have you ever been to a hockey game in Europe? Nope.
Sadly, no.
I've been to Europe. Does that count for anything?
I haven't been to Europe.
I've only been to France, though. Been all
You're not a
over.
bunny rabbit.
All over France. What do you think the Kings need to work on in order to possibly win the Stanley Cup? Does Copley start and or share playing time?
I think Korpisalo starts in the playoffs for the Kings. They've got the right ingredients there to be a successful team in the playoffs, but boy, over the last week and a half, things have kind of fallen for them. If they're traveling to Edmonton or Vegas to start the playoffs, the odds are going to be pretty long as to them staying in the playoffs much past the first round. And again, it's too bad because the Kings were playing so well a couple weeks ago.
Go skiing in Utah. I don't ski. We have lots of skiing here too.
Absolutely.
So I don't
Why
know that we would do that, but I don't ski.
Pickle just went by the door.
Oh. Cinnabon's gonna check it out. Oh, there's Pickle. Hi, Pickle. What are you doing?
But if
he's gonna come in
here, his
all right. Well, we'll see how we now have
this
3
won't
rabbits
go
in
well
here.
because Licorice will fight him.
Who has the best off season? Pickle, what you doing?
The best off season? That's it's hard to tell now because we haven't got through the playoffs yet. Whoever wins the draft lottery is going to have a pretty good off season, and then whoever wins the Stanley Cup is going to have a pretty good off season. So we'll have an idea after the playoffs which teams are going to have a good off season.
He's just saying that everything is his. This is mine. This board is mine. Licorice fighting his dad. Family drama. So Licorice has decided that this room is only okay for him and Cinnabon. And if you don't have buns, most people don't know. Rabbits are very territorial. So if we were crazy and decided we wanted more rabbits, we could not get rabbits and have them be able to be around the other rabbits. You cannot just introduce other rabbits. They will fight, and fighting bunnies is not good. So they don't fight when they're upstairs. And oh my gosh, you can see the fur flying. They won't fight upstairs because they know that's like their communal space. But Licorice has decided that this is his room.
Yep.
So yeah, only Licorice and Cinnabon come in this room.
It's like the last time I brought Jet down, her and her sister were actually fighting. I had to pull them apart.
Do they look cute when they fight? No, it's awful.
They jump in the air, they kick each other. There's fur flying.
These are our babies.
It's violent.
Bunnies have the really strong legs. They fight kind of like kangaroos. They'll like jump in the air and they use their back feet. Yeah, it's not good. So
what's up?
The rabbit's bigger than your cat. Your cat must be really tiny because their buns are not very big.
You be good, okay? Don't fight.
They're fairly small. They're not dwarf rabbits, but they're quarter dwarf.
Yeah,
quarter dwarf. They are definitely on the small side, but they're not that tiny.
I just have to keep an eye on it because I can't have them fighting.
Would love to see a video on perceived off-season winners and what they actually did in the season.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I don't try to declare winners and losers during off seasons or even during like trade deadline. The draft, I'll talk about which teams I think did really well, but that's about it. Oh, he's in the house right now. So
Am I gonna color my hair green or blue to support your playoff team?
No.
Do you dye your hair to support your team?
If you dye your hair multiple times, it actually can cause problems.
Well, no, that depends. Not this kind of dye because it doesn't. There's no chemicals in the hair dye. I don't dye my hair different colors. This is it. I don't change the colors just like most people don't change the colors. If you dye your hair just a natural hair color, you just keep it that color. Me too. I just dye it purple, but my hair is always purple. I've dyed my hair purple for many years. I don't switch the color. And I would never dye my hair green. That would look awful on me. I don't do green. Green and me don't look good. Even when I was a teenager in the 90s, I tried the green fingernail polish that was so popular. And even that looked horrible on my hands just because of my skin color. I can't do green. No, but I don't change my hair color. It's always this color. This is it. Can't wait for the updated jersey history videos. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll get on that in the
down
off
the stairs. He might have just decided he wanted to roam around. What do you think the Oilers do with Campbell?
There's not much they can do. Like, Campbell's been playing better lately for one, but for two, with that contract and the term that's at the end of it, I mean, it's still got a lot of term. There's not much they can really do with him right now. Jack Campbell's had a rough year. I hope he gets it turned around. I would think that if he has if he continues the good run the rest of the regular season, and if he's forced into action in the playoffs and does well, then things should be all
Licorice
right.
is following him everywhere.
Okay,
I'm 21 and I already going gray. This is what happens and being a Sens fan does to you. Our 16-year-old has gray hair too.
I had a couple when I was in my early 20s, and my hair started falling out while I was a senior in high school.
Our 16-year-old has quite a few gray hairs, but I don't have gray hair yet, but I think part of it's because I'm blonde. So even if I did have gray hair, it'd be hard to see, but I have not seen any gray hair.
He is chinning everything.
I kind of joke with Gabriel that he has my gray hair.
So with rabbits, they declare their ownership of things by rubbing their chin on it. Pickle is walking around this room right now, chinning everything.
This board is mine.
Everything.
This cat tree's mine.
And Licorice is following him, which makes me nervous because eventually that can turn into a fight.
Yvonne, did you like hockey growing up? And if so, what was your favorite team? I did like hockey growing up. Yeah, we didn't watch a lot of hockey because we lived in the middle of nowhere. We couldn't afford cable. We had one of those tiny TVs that just had the dial on it, and so we didn't have reception for hockey, but we would go to hockey games every once in a while. My grandmother would take me to hockey games for my birthday every year. It wasn't NHL.
No, stop. Yeah, they were fighting.
Okay, Pickle.
Come on, Pickle. I know.
They were starting to get all fighting. That's what they do. They kick like kangaroos. But yeah, when I was younger, my grandmother would take me to hockey games, and I didn't really have a favorite team. I just liked watching hockey, and I liked watching the players, but I've never really been picky about who I watched. I just thought it was fun to watch the hockey games, and my favorites were always the goalies, and I would choose who I was cheering for dependent on the goalies' helmets. That's how I would choose which team I was going to cheer for that game. Yeah. Who's your favorite Ranger right now and why?
Yeah, Keandre Miller plays a really good defensive game. I think he's underrated. Oh, come here, sweetie. He's all upset now, so I'm going to try to calm him down. But yeah, Keandre Miller would be my favorite.
Azrael, stop.
Hardworking, good player, tough guy. How you doing, Licorice? Hey, I got your dad out. Yeah, that's all done.
Too many people see rabbits as puppets. They're living creatures needing a lot of care. Yes.
I know, sweetie.
Rabbits are awesome pets, but they are not the same as a cat or a dog. They do take some care and some thought. You have to make a safe space for them.
Okay.
Would Yvonne recommend I dye my hair? Is it difficult to dye your hair? Just curious. If you want to dye your hair, dye your hair. If you don't like it, it grows out and washes out. So it's not a big deal. To me, it's a lot easier to change than if you were to cut your hair. If you dye your hair and you don't like it, you can re-dye it closer to your natural color. I've absolutely done that. I personally don't recommend bleaching your hair, though. You have to be really careful with bleaching your hair because that can really wreck your hair. So I do the colored, obviously. So it doesn't have all the chemicals in it. So it's safer and it doesn't wreck your hair. But yeah, I've dyed my hair since I was, probably like 14, just because I thought it was fun. And I'm blonde, so it's really easy for me to dye my hair. If you have darker hair, it's a lot more difficult. So I don't really know what goes into that. But being blonde, it's super easy to dye my hair, and it's kind of fun. And I have dyed my hair colors that I didn't like, and so I just got hair dye that was very close to my natural color and dyed over it. And that worked just fine. But yeah, if you're going to bleach it, be really careful. And I know if you have darker color and you want the fun colors, you need to bleach it. Be careful. Let's see where. Oh, people commenting on the bunnies.
Yeah, I had to
The
take
bunnies are
Licorice-
good.
or I had to take Pickle
So
upstairs.
Shannon was watching them.
I
We
took
know that
Pickle
that's
upstairs.
a problem if anybody else, any of the other buns come into this room.
Yep.
You can only keep 3 jerseys. Which would you choose?
This year's Bruins reverse retro. This year's Dallas reverse retro, and the new Canucks skate jersey.
There you go. Any update on the regional sports network and or the NHL's backup option?
Nothing yet. We're a week away from the end of the regular season, and after that, everything's national. So my guess is they'll come out with something this summer because the deals were up with Bally's and the NHL teams mostly anyways. So they'll have to have some kind of a backup plan for next year. And hopefully it's a good one. It is expensive to put together these broadcasts, and with all these extra bells and whistles they're adding, they're just making the broadcasts more expensive. And the one thing that I wondered too is I don't know if there's been a cost analysis of adding all of this and how much more that's going to generate for the actual broadcast. Like some of the graphics they have now, like with power plays, are just distracting. They have the name over each player. That to me is distracting.
It makes it look like a video game.
The puck
trying
has
to
a
make
tail.
it look like
That's
a video
distracting.
game.
All of it's distracting, and with the board ads as well.
That's
it
annoying
just,
too.
I don't. I'm not a fan. I don't like it, and I don't think that any of that stuff adds to the experience of watching a hockey game.
When I was little, I grabbed a rabbit accidentally at a petting zoo and showed the world that they do make a sound in terms of screaming. Oh my gosh, rabbit screams are awful. Rabbit screaming sounds terrible.
Yeah, rabbits, they get scared.
Oh, what color is my hair? I use Arctic Fox I actually use 2 different colors. It's been a couple weeks since I've dyed my hair. So it's a different color at the bottom. This one's purple AF, and this one is crap. What color did I dye my hair?
Whoops.
It's a different color of purple by Arctic Fox, not the light purple. I forgot what color it is. So I've dyed my hair the same color for years. Hi, sweetie. And I can't remember the name of it right now. But yeah, it's the brighter one. But the purple AF is a dark purple. That's kind of fun too. Let's see. Have you ever wanted to be a TV or radio play-by-play announcer?
I used to, if I was bored at a Chilliwack Chiefs game back in the day, I would do the announcing. I would pretend that it was the Canucks, the Flames, or whoever. Yeah, I used to love that. I used to do that all the time when I was a kid, playing with my hockey guards. I would pretend I was announcing it. I wanted to be a play-by-play announcer. But as I was coming up through high school, and I talked to people who were in the industry, I was told about how it was a shrinking industry. It was kind of cutthroat, and I was probably not willing to do the things I had to do in order to get ahead in the business. And so, yeah, I was basically talked out of it.
She is such a sweet bun.
So this is Cinnabon. This is not Pickle. They look very similar, but you notice there's a darker patch here on her. She has patchy
they're
fur
shedding.
right now.
They're all shedding,
and
so bad.
Aren't you, sweet bun?
Shedding so bad. They're all so much fur. What's your favorite chocolate bar? Wonder Bars.
Whatchamacallit.
No, Wonder Bars. They're the best.
Whatchamacallit, which sadly has kind of gone by the wayside in the States, it would seem. So
those I have to go down to the States to buy, and yeah, they are hard to find.
Yeah, sadly, whatchamacallit.
The past couple times, I've only found them once in the past couple times going down there. Yeah. Didn't I find it when we were in California? I'm pretty sure I found it in California. Probably. The past couple times in the state, in Washington, I haven't been able to find them. My favorite's Wonder Bars.
They used to have it at the Sumas gas station. So why don't you head down there today? So you can get me some whatchamacallits.
Oh my gosh, no. There's no way I would go to the States on Easter weekend. No,
I didn't say Easter weekend. I said just today. Not the old weekend.
It's Easter weekend. No way. I have always had a rule about going to the States on Easter weekend. That is
but it's for
the
me,
absolute worst time
important.
all year
So-
to go across the border because the line is stupid long.
See, as my assistant,
Not a chance.
your job assisting me is to
You
be
can
the
go
assistant.
jump across 0 Avenue and
I
go
can't. They
walk-
put up a fence.
I know. It's so funny.
So I can't jump across 0 Avenue
It's
anymore.
so funny. They put up a fence. Oh, man. Anyways, the fence is funny. Crunch bar is the best overall.
Not for me. For me, it's whatchamacallit. And then I'd probably go with Take Fives after that. Take Fives are really good.
Oh, I like
because pretzels.
I like the Reese's Henry's. The Reese's Henry's are great too.
Should probably mention to you as well. Earlier,
Yeah,
Cinnabon.
picket fence. That's what
When
it
I
is.
came in
It's a
here too,
picket
Cinnabon
fence.
was eating something that looked like it might have been the remainder of a pretzel, but I don't remember having a pretzel in here. So I don't know what she was actually eating. But yeah, she comes in here and finds treasures when she's in here before I'm in here.
She's like a dog.
So
Has to sniff out all the crumbs.
she loves peanuts. I know she loves peanuts.
She does. We should get going pretty soon though.
Yes.
I need to go make the kids food.
Yes.
Well, I gotta finish the
And then I have
food.
There's the 2 games today. I have other videos I have to do the video on. Connor McDavid hitting 150 points.
How many bunnies and cats do we have? A ton. From the ones I've seen, they are beautiful. Love your videos.
The rabbits are
Yvonne
sweet.
from Winnipeg.
You guys haven't seen
Just
Waffles on
curious
the
how
channel,
she became
though.
a Just fan. We have 6 rabbits and 5 cats. Tons of animals.
And 3 guinea pigs.
We have and 3 guinea pigs. We have the cat's Instagram. You can see all the pictures of them. Every once in a while we do the videos. I haven't done a video in forever of the animals. The guinea pigs are doing great. They're so cute. The kids love the guinea pigs because they like to be carried around and held. And they know the sounds of my footsteps because as soon as I go on the stairs, they run over to the edge of their little cage and look at the stairs and they squeak at me because they know that I give them veg and I will go and give them peppers whenever they squeak at me so they can tell when I'm going up the stairs.
Yep.
It's the funniest thing.
Yep.
They don't do it to anybody else. When I go up the stairs, they just start squeaking and then they do the cutest little purr sound. It is the cutest sound ever. Guinea pigs purring is so cute sounding, isn't it? I love the sound of the guinea pigs purring. It's so cute.
But anyways, we should get going.
We have talked about Horvat many times.
Yes. But at any rate, thank you guys for coming out. We will do this again soon. Now that the playoffs are rolling around, there is more time.
Which one is
Generally
the most
more
high
time.
Maintenance? Kids, pets, or TEG? Kids.
TEG,
Kids.
he just stays under the stairs mostly.
Kids are a lot.
So as long as he's got, his cubby's fine. He'll be fine.
Kids are a lot.
So, but anyways, guys,
Lot.
thanks for coming out, and we will do this again soon enough. And I hope everybody has themselves a wonderful Easter. I hope the bunny, the rabbit that comes down your chimney on, with a sack of pumpkins.
Your sack of pumpkins.
He's got a sack of pumpkins.
I need to go put candy in little bags because I don't do plastic eggs. Because
anyways,
just say no
thanks
to
guys for coming out.
plastic.
And we will do this again soon enough. So take care.